Dead by Daylight has been around for almost a decade, and its average player counts have only gone up since it released. Even though the developers have made some insanely questionable decisions throughout the game's lifespan, and even at times seems to be trying to kill their own game, the community has stuck with it and now has even reached new all-time heights in concurrent players. But how did this happen? What's up, guys? It's Chris, and today I want to talk to you guys about why we keep playing Dead by Daylight.
Look at these Steam charts. Dead by Daylight surprisingly still popular after 7 years. More players than Overwatch even. Dead by Daylight's a game that will always be popular no matter how much they fuck with it. It will still always be popular. Its community is hooked on it.
But I want to know, why is that? Why do we keep coming back no matter what the developers seem to do to this game, no matter what terrible decisions they decide to make? What keeps us coming back to this same game that, honestly, if you look at it from the survivor point of view, the majority of their game is spent just holding left click on gens, which is not the most interesting objective in the world. And killers do have to deal with some pretty wacky stuff from the survivor end as well, starting with exhaustion. Playing Ghostface into sprint burst just is not interesting at all. So first, we need to talk about the fact that there is basically zero competition for Dead by Daylight. There have been other asymmetrical horror games in the past that have dropped. DBD was easily the first by a large margin. They were the first of its kind, which means they had access to a ton more licenses than any of these other games could even hope to dream of. Like Evil Dead the game, for example, died very, very quickly, mostly because the devs could not balance their game. And to be able to compete with a game like DBD that's been out for so long, the game has to drop either fantastic in a great spot as far as balance goes, or it needs to come out with just some insanely cool new mechanics that just make the game super fun compared to DBD. Or if things aren't good immediately, or I should say they have to be almost perfect immediately when they drop, people are just going to flood back to Dead by Daylight because this is the game they know, and it's significantly better than when the game released in 2016. So Dead by Daylight had a massive margin of error when they first released compared to a lot of the newer asymmetrical horror games now. Because Dead by Daylight's been around for so long, people will just go back to it if those games are not up to par. I think DBD's complete lack of competition in the genre is also a reason they think they can get away with, not fixing game-breaking bugs on Huntress that make it so her hatches just do not register half the time for months. I'm pretty sure, since looking online, they have 1,300 employees at the company, so leaving a bug that bad in the game for that long seems extremely excessive to me. I don't think that should ever be something a dev team should do if they really do care about the health of their game. And I'm not going to sit here and delve into the huge amount of bugs actually in this game right now affecting pretty much every single killer. It is excessive, which again begs the question to me, why do we keep playing Dead by Daylight? Dead by Daylight has survived and thrived off of a combination of not only, a handful of veteran players that put more hours into this game than probably any other game out there. People put tens of thousands of hours into DBD because they love the game so much and they love everything in it and they love the very unique gameplay that isn't offered by any other game. But mainly, this game thrives off of a constant influx of new players. With each new license behavior polls, they bring in a massive amount of players. You look at this newest Five Nights at Freddy's update, it hit its peak players of all time. Now, me personally, not very interested in Five Nights at Freddy's. I never actually played the games. To me, it seemed more like a kid's kind of horror game, which I could totally be wrong. I've never played the games. You guys can correct me on that. But immediately, just after releasing Five Nights at Freddy's, 120,000 players logged on just on Steam alone. That doesn't even include console. Behavior effectively has a monopoly on the genre, and while I do think they do try to fix a lot of things and make the game as enjoyable as they can for both sides, sometimes they show that they really just do not care. It is a super fun game to play at the casual level, to be able to boot up with your friends and play against all these horror icons like Myers and Freddy. Resident Evil fans can see Wesker or even play as Leon in the game, which is awesome. But again, this is a PvP game, and a lot of people are just competitive by nature, which means there's going to be people doing win streaks on Killer and Survivor. I personally do a lot of win streaks on Killer, and when there is such a disparity in game balance, sometimes it can make it very unenjoyable for that group of people, which I think is actually a decent chunk of the community. Survivors even now complain a lot about tunneling, which is effectively the killer trying to kill a survivor, and that's literally their job, so it kind of blows my mind, but that's a topic for another video. Killers complain about the massive amount of second chances survivors get, base kit, and just through perks, exhaustion carrying chase for them. Players from both sides complain about the map design that this company shows that they're capable of, which after this many years of DBD, you'd think they'd have the kind of map formula down a little bit. So again, one last time, why do we all keep playing Dead by Daylight? There is just so much you can do in this game. There are so many build combinations you can run on both Survivor and Killer. If you're getting bored playing one specific killer in the game, there are a ton of other options that offer completely unique styles of gameplay. Even though the general gameplay of Survivor is to just hold M1 on gens and then dump some pallets here and there, the way you do have to play against each killer is also so unique that the time it actually takes to fully master DBD and feel very comfortable can be thousands and thousands of hours, and people love to see that progression as well, I think. It's also a game you can play depending on your mood completely. If you're in the mood to really try and focus and try to go for some cool mechanical stuff, you can hop on Blight or Huntress even and just have a really good time. But if you're in the mood to just chill and maybe autopilot, throw on a movie and just play a game you like, Survivor is perfect for that too. So even though at the core level this game can be a little bit repetitive, each game can be completely unique with the RNG of the maps. Depending on which killer you're playing against, you don't know what perks the survivors are going to bring in. There is a wide range of how a game can play out, and pretty much no two games will ever be the same in DBD. On top of that, if you're having a rough time with one of the sides in DBD, say you're having a bad day of Survivor, you can hop on Killer and have a ton of fun with all the massive ranges of things you can do in this game. I think fundamentally though, the thing that keeps Dead by Daylight at the very top of the genre is just the massive range of characters that it has in the game. There are some ridiculously cool original characters that they came up with themselves, like Unknown or Dredge. But on top of that, it's the only game out there where you could play like Michael Myers against Leon Kennedy, besides probably Fortnite at this point, I don't know, but not everybody likes those fun, cartoony, battle royale kind of games. There's a lot of people out there like me who like the scares and the thrills and stuff like that, a lot of horror movies, and this game has all of that. On top of that, there's a ton of killers in the game where you can just play them completely differently from game to game or from just situation to situation in a game. Dracula, who's my new main, is a prime example of that. Depending on the situation you're in, there are just so many ways to tackle a problem, and it is super enjoyable for me. On top of that, survivors also have tons of ways that they can be playing each game. They could do a head-on build to be trying to stun the killer with flashbangs, try to go for maximum blinds. They could try to do gens really quickly with a gen speed build. There's a ton of healing options, so they could be a medic. And the absolute insane variety from game to game is what keeps people loving Dead by Daylight, which is why when a new killer releases, you'll see survivors complaining all the time about having to play against the same killer over and over. Variety is what keeps people coming back, and they love it. And to bring it back to my initial point, at the core, Dead by Daylight is a very, very simple game. Again, Survivor's main objective is to hold M1 on generators and then escape through the gates, and the killer's job is to kill survivors. It is very easy for new players to come in, understand the game, and do pretty okay. Now, obviously, at the lowest level, survivors probably aren't going to be doing the gens as much as they should, but the concept is very simple and easy to understand for pretty much anybody. That being said, there is high skill expression on both sides, which can be removed by certain things, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of skill ceiling for both sides, which keeps people playing even longer and keeps those veteran players playing with thousands and thousands of hours. Personally, I also do love the variety. If you guys wanted to hear my own personal thoughts on why I play DBD, it is because of the massive variety of stuff that I can do in the game and keep playing and have a great time. The main driving factor is honestly my community, the people in the stream and the YouTube videos that really keep me loving the game, because if I'm completely honest, I don't think I could ever see myself queuing up a solo queue Survivor without you guys around or stream or anything like that. It would just not be very fun for me. And you guys have seen, you guys know better than anybody, I've taken plenty of breaks from Dead by Daylight to make sure that I keep my love for the game. Sometimes the devs really let me down, and it just kind of puts me off from the game, and I have to take a little bit of a break because I want to be having a good time when I play it for you guys and for myself. But yeah, all you guys who support the channel and keep coming back to the videos or the stream, even through all my breaks, I really appreciate you. It is really the main thing that keeps me going on this stuff. I love it. I do love DBD as well. Don't get it twisted. It's not that I just dislike the game and I just play for you guys. I do love both, but you guys really do keep me playing as much as I do and as consistently as I do. So appreciate all you guys. I hope you liked the video. Now I want to pass it off to you guys. What gets you guys playing DBD? What makes you boot up that game? What keeps you playing every time you load that thing up? Because I know just as well as anybody, DBD can be very frustrating, but I think we all do at the end of the day love this game, and for a lot of different reasons. So I'd love to hear it from you guys. Either way, appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video and comment, and I will catch you guys in the next one.